Sheikh, in your book, you speak about Russia's destiny, not only in geopolitical terms, but also within the framework of the Quran. Could you share how Russia's role connects to the moral and spiritual order that Allah establishes in history, and how this differs from purely political analysis?
Russia's heart is spiritual. The heart of the modern Western world is godless and pagan. There's a big difference between the two. They attacked Russia in 1917. It was an attack launched by the West and by European Jews. And they brought about the Bolshevik Revolution, and Russia eventually became a part of the Soviet Union. And the Soviet Union was a godless, atheist state. And for something like 60 or 70 years, the Soviet Union hammered away against religion and religion's way of life, but in particular, did all it could to try to destroy the Russian faith, the spiritual faith, and the Orthodox Christian faith, and in the spiritual life. And the Soviet Union collapsed after some 60 or 70 years. And as soon as the Soviet Union collapsed, Russia immediately began her journey back to her spiritual heart and to the Orthodox Christian way of life. That journey has only been commenced. That journey has not as yet been completed. So don't go criticizing Russia when Russia is still changing. But you should at least have the capacity to recognize the direction in which Russia is changing and returning to what she was before the Bolshevik Revolution. Russia was an intensely Christian country. Russia was led by the Tsars. The last one, the Tsar Nicholas, was a very, very religious man. Not only him, all his family members. They were very religious. They had the attachment to the spiritual way of life. There is a verse of the Quran in Surah Al-Ma'idah where Allah speaks of a Christian people. And he says that at that time when the Jews would be most hostile to you, and another people who are shrunken in shirk would be most hostile to you. At that time, you will find that there will be a people who declare we are Christians. They declare that we are Christians, and they will be closest in love and affection for you. So these are not a secular people. The Christians of the Western world are secularized. They are primarily French, primarily American. Their identity is their national identity. And the religious faith is secondary. So that's the price they pay for being secularized. But these are not the people who are secularized in this sense of the word, in that their primary identity is not national. Their primary identity is their faith. So the Quran says they are a Christian people who will declare we are Christians. So clearly, they're not Americans, they're not French, they're not British. They are the Orthodox Christian world, which is led by Russia. Then the Quran explains why these people will become closest in love and affection for Muslims at that time when, for example, the genocide is taking place in Gaza. And the answer from the Quran is because, number one, they still have the institution of the priesthood. The priests are held in high esteem. In the Western world, your priest could be a pedophile. In the Western world, a sportsman or a sportswoman or a movie actor or movie actress have a higher status in society. A banker has a higher status in society, and a priest has a fairly low status in society. But the reason why these Christians will become closest in love and affection for you, says the Quran, is because they still have the institution of the priesthood. They are a society which is a religious society in which the position of the priest is very high in that society. Number two, the Quran goes on to say the second reason why these Christians will show themselves to be closest in love and affection for Muslims is because they have the institution of monasticism. They honor and they revere their monastery. Their hearts are attached to their monastery. That's why the Christians of the Balkans are so attached to Kosovo, because ancient Kosovo is where they had all their monasteries. And this attachment to the monastic way of life is part and parcel of the religious profile. And that's the profile of Russia. And number three, says the Quran, they are not an arrogant people. The Christians of the West want to rule the world. The reason why Trump wants to make America great again is because he wants to restore Pax Americana. What is Pax Americana? Answer, it is the United States of America functioning as a ruling state in the world. That's the Western world. And before Pax Americana, the world witnessed Pax Britannica. Again, it's the Western Christians, where Britain, for many, many years, centuries, Britain was the ruling state in the world. These are Christian people who have an obsession. They want to rule the whole world. And that is arrogance. And the Quran says these Christians who will be closest in love and affection for you would be a people who are not arrogant. That is because of their profile of spirituality and of their dedication to the religious way of life.
So your research on Russia, how does the Quranic methodology guide you to the conclusions that differ from the political analysts?
Well, there are political analysts of the West who have an obsession in hatred for Russia and hatred for the Orthodox Christian way of life. There was a time when the Orthodox Christian world had a state which was a Christian state, the Byzantine Empire, based in Constantinople. And these are Christians who wanted to bring back to the world Holy Israel. They lost Holy Israel in Jerusalem after the attempt to crucify Jesus, Nabi Isa alayhi salam. And Allah expelled them all, the Israelite people, from the Holy Land. And He placed a ban on them. They could never return to that Holy Land until a certain time arrived in history. And the Jews were then scattered all over the world. All over the world, you'll find little pockets of Jews, even in China, even in Argentina. But Allah helped the Christians who accepted Jesus as the Messiah and who wanted to live the religious way of life and who longed to restore the holy state that Nabi Dawood alayhi salam had established and Nabi Sulaiman alayhi salam had caused to become a ruling state. And the Quran, the Hadith tells us that Allah helped them to conquer Constantinople without fighting, without fighting. And when they conquered Constantinople, they established a holy state. It was called the Holy Byzantine Empire. And that Holy Byzantine Empire was still existing at the time of Nabi Muhammad والسلام. But of course, there were corruptions which took place in their beliefs when, after some 300 or 400 years of Christianity, the Emperor Constantine presided over the Council of Nicaea and formalized the acceptance of the Trinity and the worship of Jesus as God and the Son of God, etc. But then came a split in that Holy Byzantine Empire. One part of the Christian world chose to turn away from the Lord God and his orders and did not respect the law of the Sabbath. And when they were in Constantinople, they lived by fishing. So Allah caused the fish, no fish would come on any day of the week, none. Only on the Sabbath day would the fish come. And the fish are jumping, you can see them. But they're not allowed to fish on the Sabbath day. So this was a test for them. And one part of the Christian world said, we don't care 2 peanuts anymore for the law. And they went fishing. Another part of the Christian world warned them that you are going to be punished. And a third part of the Christian world realized you're wasting your time warning these people. They will never change. That part of the Christian world which stayed faithful to the law and did not go fishing on the Sabbath day, we remained Orthodox Christians in Constantinople. But that part of the Christian world which went fishing on the Sabbath day, Allah cursed them. And not only did Allah curse them, He punished them. He said, He said, Kunu kiradatan khasi'in. This is located in 2 or 3 parts of the Quran. And that is the modern Western world. Be apes, despised. The tafsir of the Quran, many mufassirun held the view which is wrong, very wrong, that they were transformed into monkeys and they lived for a few days and they died. That's not true. Because the Quran itself says that Allah's creation does not change. La tabdila li khalqillah. I should not have to repeat it 100 times. And so we reject the literal understanding of this curse. And we say what it means is these are people who are cursed to eventually live like monkeys. I've explained this in my book entitled Constantinople in the Quran. But my critics would not read my books. And when they read it, they can't stomach it. It caused them indigestion. So Allah cursed them to eventually live like monkeys. Monkeys, Wahid, don't wear any clothes, they're naked. But that's not despicable, that's their way of life. But when human beings turn away from clothing and begin to live naked in public, that is a sign that they're now living like monkeys, and that's the curse that Allah placed upon them, and that is the Christians in the Western world. Monkeys do their bedroom life in public, but that's nothing despicable for them. That's their fitra, their way of life. But this part of the Christian world will eventually show a preference for public sexual relations. And that's happening now in the Western world. So the curse that Allah placed upon them is now manifesting itself. So now you have two parts of the Christian world. One part which is cursed by Allah, and the other part which still tries, still holds on, Wahid still holds on to part of the truth, even though they have the Trinity and they worship Jesus, but they still hold on to the religious way of life. When the Crusades took place, eventually it was in the Third Crusade that the Western world, not Russia, not the Orthodox Christian world, they had no part of the Crusade. It is the Western world which broke away from Constantinople. They're the ones who launched the Crusades something like 40 years after the formal breakup took place in 1052, the Great Schism. And if we have the time, I can explain to you why the Great Schism took place. So about 40 years later, in 1090, the Pope in Rome launched the First Crusade to try to recover Jerusalem. But when the Third Crusade took place, the Crusaders attacked Constantinople because they had a bitter hatred in their heart for the Orthodox Christian world. It is that bitter hatred which is seen in the hatred for Russia and anything Russian, and they're supporting Ukraine. They wanted to bring about a color revolution in Ukraine in order to crucify Russia. That's why they had a color revolution in Ukraine. They love color revolution. They are now trying to bring about a color revolution in Hungary. They're now trying to bring about a color revolution in Serbia. They're now trying to bring about a color revolution in Slovenia. That's what they're doing now as I speak. They love these color revolutions. So when they brought about they conquered Constantinople in the year, when was it now? I can't remember when the Third Crusade took place. And the Western world took control of Constantinople. The Western world took control of Constantinople. This was the bitter hatred they had for the Orthodox Christian world. But before that, or probably after that, I can't remember the date, when the Ottoman Empire emerged, and the Ottomans now, and after the Christians and the Orthodox Christians were recovered Constantinople, I think after 80 years, they recovered Constantinople. When the attack came from the Ottoman Empire, and the Ottoman Empire was able to circle Constantinople, and the Orthodox Christian patriarch did not have the means to defend Constantinople. He appealed to the West, to his brother Christians. We need your help, otherwise Constantinople will fall. The Western Christian, the Pope in Rome and the Western Christians said, we will help you on the condition that you give up your Orthodox Christian way of life and you follow our Christianity, the pagan Christianity. And the Orthodox Christian world said, no, we prefer the pagri or the turban of the Sultan to the hat of the cardinal. That was the response. Wow. So you see in this, both the attack on Constantinople, your own Christian brothers, and conquering Constantinople and ruling over Constantinople for 80 years, the hatred they had in their hearts for the Orthodox Christian world. You see it again when they refused to help Constantinople when surrounded by the Ottoman Empire, and you see it again today in Ukraine. So it is plain and clear that there is a bitter hatred, hostility, and obsession in the West against Russia. not because of Russia, but because of the Orthodox Christian faith. The Quran gives us this explanation that your political scientists will not give.